Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report on my YouTube channel today. And today we're going to talk about NXT and the end of an era, which pretty much since Tuesday, pretty much the last brick of the yellow and gold has come down as we speak. As for you guys, or some of you guys who saw New Year's Evil on the NXT 2.0, we saw Bron Breakker versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT World Title, if you want to call it a world title. But when Bron Breakker came into the ring, he went and smashed the black and yellow X, and broke it in half. Kind of similar to what Cody did with the throne, on Triple H throne, and I believe it was Double or Nothing or 2020 or 2019, one of those. And pretty much that's what Bron Breakker did. This is pretty much what WWE was sending a message to Triple H, letting him know your last brick that you built, your NXT Black and Gold, pretty much means it's over and done. And it's pretty much Bron Breakker put Tommaso Ciampa in the Steiner recliner to make Ciampa submit and lose his NXT title, and that was the beginning of the end of the Black and Gold brand as of Tuesday. Now, a lot of people were not happy that Bron Breakker did this move, and they said it was pretty much not something. It was a symbolic. It wasn't symbolic. It was more of sticking it to Triple H, and people were not happy in the back about that. And we're talking about wrestlers, of course, these the Bruce Pritchards, the Vince McMahon, the John Laurinaitis, and whoever's running in the back, pretty much was smiling. And my question to that is, why is so much animosity toward Triple H? And now, I'm not a big fan of Triple H, of what he did back then when he used to bury other performers. And the way I look at it now is more of, karma is coming to bite him in the ass, because what he did back then, where it's well known, well documented, that he pretty much buried a lot of wrestlers back then, especially WCW wrestlers when they came in. When WWE bought the company, he will bury them. Now it's coming back to him in a different way, and that is he was given a developmental brand, and he made it so great, so good, that it was topping Raw and Smackdown and whatnot. And McMahon looked at it as a threat to his brands. I mean, people could say otherwise, but that's exactly what happened. And everybody that he handpicked to be part of this NXT Black and Gold are no longer with the company. I mean, right after New Year's Evil, the next day, before AEW was about to debut TBS at 7 o'clock, you had news coming from NXT that WWE had released Road Dogg. I wasn't really much surprised that he had been let go before in the past. So I'm sorry to say, but if you've been let go of a company 3 or 4 times, why are you coming back? Pretty much, to me, I call them kiss ass, and that's my opinion. Most of you may not agree, but he no longer has a job. Scott Armstrong, who was a referee for them for a long time, he got let go. Timothy Thatcher, a guy who I have so much respect because I followed him at MLW. He came, handpicked by Triple H, came in, he's gone. Birch, I forgot his first name, but the guy Birch, I think he was part of the Imperial. I could be wrong. He got let go. And the biggest one, two biggest ones, to me, was Samoa Joe again got let go, and the biggest of them all was William Regal. William Regal, the guy who Triple H handpicked to run NXT, the guy who cried and whatnot, cried when he announced that Samoa Joe was back and he was going to take over all the backstage stuff when Samoa Joe came back. Cried. I'm talking about cried. Literally cried on TV. I saw this. He got let go. So what this shows you, that WWE does not have no respect for anybody. Doesn't matter who you are. When you got clowns like Bruce Pritchard who don't know nothing about wrestling, and I don't care anybody tell me, oh, he used to be Brother Love back in the 80s, and this is the same guy, and I've been repeating this for the last 3 years since I've been doing this podcast, that he almost took Impact out of business. He was part of the Dixie Carter regime. They almost put Impact out of business. Okay, that's why he ran back to WWE, because he knew he had a chance to work and kiss ass to McMahon. John Laurinaitis, another guy who his wrestling career was, he was a mid-card guy. Just because he was the brother of Animal from the Raw Warriors, he thought he was the shit. His only success was in Japan and maybe winning tag team titles and that. But in the United States, he was nobody. He was nothing. He's part of the McMahon's regime and all that. So these guys are the ones that go into McMahon, talking to them and saying, oh, this guy's no good. They don't know wrestling if wrestling hit them in the face. And that's the part that kind of pisses me off. Because now WWE has decided that let's get rid of all these indie guys that Triple H brought in for Ring of Honor, Impact, and let's bring in people that we can build. Okay? And when I mean we can build, okay? Now you probably say NXT, oh, bro, Bron Breakker, his father's Rick Steiner. He's still green. Why they gave him the belt? Because now they're preparing to bring in this next in line, supposedly athletes that they're gonna come and bring in. Guys who play basketball, girls who were cheerleaders, twins who got some following Instagram. Okay, they're trying to bring in different eyes to the product and whatnot. And this next in line is supposed to be the future of the company. Okay, now like again, I said this in my podcast, my audio podcast, a couple of weeks. The word around is they're grooming Nick Khan to take over the company, and there's rumors going around that The Rock and Nick Khan may buy the WWE. And if that's to happen, it could happen. Hey, The Rock bought the XFL once McMahon lost that. So it would be cool if that happens, because then you will know that they're going to get rid of this Bruce Pritchard. They're going to get rid of John Laurinaitis. McMahon won't be around anymore because this man does not know nothing about wrestling anymore. He's out of touch. And the sad thing about it is that I have people that I pretty much follow on Instagram and all that stuff, and they telling me, not telling me, but they pretty much saying, oh, we're not gonna watch WWE no more, and yet the next night they're watching Raw and commenting and reenacting of stuff that happened the night before. What happened to I'm not watching Raw anymore? What happened to I'm not watching SmackDown no more? I'm not watching NXT. You're still watching it. Okay, because you're hoping that there's going to be changes. But then you're the same guys that complain the next day that the product is no good. Okay? Now, I stopped watching WWE overall. But when I see news like this, I have to report it. Because it is sad that NXT... Right now, let me tell you something. If NXT, that the one that Triple H was running back then in 2018, 2019, and they had those crazy takeover matches with Gargano and Cole, or Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano, which was one of the best matches, sequels of matches that these guys had, crazy matches. If they were around right now, AEW would be in trouble. And mind you that I am a big AEW fan, even though there's some things that I don't like and things that I don't understand why some of these wrestlers do certain things in that company. But AEW would have had problems, because NXT between 2017 to 2019, they were the hottest thing going on. Okay, especially when they had the Undisputed Era, with those war games, all that, and now all that's gone. All because Vince McMahon felt threatened. Because Ringside News said it. The reason they let go Samoa Joe, again, William Regal, Timothy Thatcher, Raw Dog, it's because all these people either handpicked or were connected to Triple H. So they're doing this on purpose. My thing is, the old man is that petty to do something? Or was there something done behind the scenes that we don't know that really push the old man to say, okay, you think you're gonna overtake? Look, I'm gonna do this. And now he stressed Triple H so bad that the man landed in the hospital with supposedly some heart condition stuff, and now he can't wrestle anymore. I mean, that's got to be crazy when you actually made your son-in-law that stressed that now he can't wrestle anymore. Now, my question to this is, my thing is Triple H, by seeing this, is he going to try to create his own wrestling company? And if he does, WWE will be in trouble. Because this man is already connected with so many wrestlers that have left. And right now, the independent scene, there's so many wrestlers out there the AEW cannot pick up, the Impact can't pick up, NWA can't pick up, MLW can't pick up, New Japan can't pick up. There's still wrestlers out there. Then I'm sure Triple H is probably thinking something along the lines that maybe I could start my own wrestling company. And if that's to happen, by then maybe McMahon had already left, sold the company, but I won't put it past him. Or will he wait quietly and wait till Nick Khan and The Rock buys the company? But then again, Nick Khan is one of the guys who is responsible for cutting all these people, because he's cutting all these budgets and whatnot. And he's trying to probably figure, let me save money for the company, whatever, because a lot of these wrestlers are not being used. Okay? Think about it. There's one guy that I'm waiting for to get cut, and that's Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander more because he opened his mouth. I mean, he had to defend his wife, of course, about the whole thing with AEW and the diversity thing. But he's going to get cut. Shelton Benjamin may get cut. Okay? And a host of other guys is going to get cut. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Owens signed a 3-year deal with WWE, and he was put in the 5-way match this past weekend, and yet he didn't win the WWE title. Instead, they gave the belt to Brock Lesnar. And people, again, they still defend this. I call them the E-Droids, because the E-Droids defend this. And especially the saddest part of all this, and the reason for this video, is because NXT, WWE decided that NXT was not good enough with the roster they had in 2019, that they had cut everybody. Gargano, Adam Cole left, Kyle O'Reilly left, Johnny Gargano has left, Tommaso Ciampa is not coming back. I don't care what anybody tells me, he's not going to the main roster. If he goes to the main roster, he'll be a fool. You have Roderick Strong, who probably is going to end up at AEW, and they're going to probably have the whole Undisputed Era over there at AEW. But you're going to have a lot of things going on now, because now, as far as I feel negative, because you're bringing in next in line people who don't know nothing about professional wrestling, because WWE refused to look at the indie scene. And again, I get into it with a lot of people. This generation of wrestling fan, I sometimes question. And somebody, even the old school don't know nothing about wrestling. It just amazes me. It amazes me that some of the things that people either apologize for, defend, it's crazy. I mean, a lot of the stuff that WWE does, they make you invest your time into watching a feud or a fight or wrestling match. For example, I'll give you Liv Morgan. They made it look like Liv Morgan was going to be the next leader, and the other girl, I forgot her name. Okay, and I remember them playing that role. And what was the investment at the end of that match with her and Becky? A botched finish. Okay, same thing with the Bobby Lashley included into the 3-way. It was a 4-way, and now they're putting Brock Lesnar. Brock goes and pins another member of the New Day to take the belt away from the same belt he took for Kofi Kingston, and beats Big E. Big E's title reign was horrible. It's horrible. This man defended the belt twice or 3 times, and then lost the rest of all his matches. I mean, I could just go rant and rave here of all the stuff that this company has done, but the worst part of them all is the developmental brand that became the third brand. Okay, the third brand and they went and they squashed it. When I'm talking about they stepped on it, they got rid of William Regal out of all people, Samoa Joe, who won the NXT title. Then they stripped them and claimed, and they lied to the fans. They lied to you. I want you to understand that they lied to you that he was injured. He wasn't injured. This was all a plan to give you what they're giving you now. NXT 2.0, looking with Skittles colors and all this rainbow bullshit that they got going on in that brand. And do I feel like I should waste my time even talking about WWE this year? I don't think so. But I bring you this because I know that some of my fans that they follow me either in my audio podcast or here are going to be like, well, let's see what he's got to say about this. It's just my opinion, guys. This is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You could give me your thoughts about it on my comments. Leave me comments on what you think about this. But this end of the era, are you going to continue to watch this NXT 2.0? Are you going to continue supporting WWE? That's the biggest question. Will you continue to support WWE even though they had got rid of 80-something wrestlers last year, probably another 100 the year before? They just let go a bunch of 3 or 4 wrestlers now. And who's next? I see Cedric Alexander's going to get cut. I see Ricochet may get cut because he was one of the Triple H guys. It's coming. It's coming. I'll be surprised if Ricochet and Cedric Alexander makes it to another year in WWE. And I'll be surprised if NXT even pretty much even past the 500,000 and whatnot every week, because there's no ways that people are going to sit there and watch this show and they're talking about bringing in next in line people. Next in line? NIL? Something that WWE now is part of? This is what's going to happen now? Are you going to sit there and watch non-wrestlers compete against each other and make it look like it's a wrestling match? That's what I want to know. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. As a wrestling fan and as a wrestling podcast, I've been doing this is my 3rd season doing this. You have to question it. You have to question it. Is it even worth watching this program? Is it even worth watching WWE or SmackDown? I mean, they pulled the trigger. They gave the belt to Brock Lesnar when it comes to the main roster thing. So now, Brock Lesnar, I think SmackDown wanted them in his match. So now the Raw is not going to have a world champion probably for the year to WrestleMania. Now they're going to push. They're pushing the button now with Bobby Lashley versus Brock. Do you see Bobby Lashley beating Brock? I don't see it happening. And whatnot. So unless and it's not going to happen. Bobby Lashley winning the Rumble unless he's going to compete for the world title and the Rumble, which could happen, but we'll see. But anyway, guys. That is it for me today, guys, and I just wanted to come through. I was going to come live, but I figured let me just do this video and let you know how I feel about this. It's just sad. William Regal, out of all people. Samoa Joe, again, that I was not surprised because he was done with the WWE competition, not with wrestling overall, because now he's a free agent. Don't be surprised if he shows up at at AEW or Impact. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if he shows up at Impact. Impact could take advantage of bringing him back and whatnot. So that could happen. So we'll see what happens coming up. And again, guys, if you want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You guys can follow me also on my audio podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, and any other audio podcast platforms you guys like to listen to your favorite shows. You can also check out my website called tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. Again, you can check out my hoodies, my hats, my t-shirts, and check them out, and hopefully you get to enjoy it. But that is it for me, guys. Again, my name is the Ultimate One from New York City. I will come back here next week and give you another probably another 15-20 minute video and let you know what's going on in the world of professional. Maybe next week I'll come in live. Until then, guys, peace and love.